In this overview, we are going to discuss some of the improvements and changes made to the Data Visualizer app in DHIS 2.34. This overview is separated into 5 parts, so make sure you have a look at each one for a more detailed overview of all of the updates that have been made. In part 1, we are going to discuss some of the interface changes that have been made to this application. The first thing you might notice is the new dialog that presents itself when you open up the Data Visualizer app. The most interesting part of this dialog is the space where your most viewed charts and tables are presented to you. Note that this list includes tables, and that pivot tables have been integrated into the Data Visualizer app. This is covered in much more detail in parts 4 and 5 of this series, so please have a look to review what's been done with pivot tables in more detail. This front page dialog that displays your most viewed charts and tables may be a feature that you are already familiar with, as it has been available within the Pivot Tables app for some time. Selecting one of these items will open it up in the Data Visualizer for you to review. This is particularly useful for quickly accessing your most viewed visualizations within the Data Visualizer app. The next update we are going to discuss is related to working with data elements and their disaggregations. You may have noticed these green dots next to some of the dimensions located on the left side of the screen. Without having selected any data items, these green dots start by denoting the organization unit group sets that you have available as a data dimension within your system. Let us select a data item, in particular a data element. Let us just hide this quickly after we have made the selection. It may have been hard to notice, but there is now an additional green dot that has appeared next to the dimension labeled location fixed/outreach. This is because the data element we have selected, ANC First Visit, uses this disaggregation, and the Data Visualizer app is letting us know that the data element can be disaggregated with this dimension. This is a new feature called Dimension Recommendations. Let us select another data element to confirm it is working as we expect. When we select HIV testing, notice that the green dot is removed from location fixed/outreach. However, we see a new green dot next to HIV age. We can quickly add in this dimension and see if it works with the data element we have selected by updating our chart. This feature is meant to show you which dimensions your data elements will work with when using the Data Visualizer app, as it can sometimes be challenging to identify exactly which dimensions will work with the data elements that you have selected. We will continue our discussion on the updated Data Visualizer in part 2 of our demonstration. For any questions on what we have presented so far, please do not hesitate to contact us on the Community of Practice.